Hello. Hey, everyone. Welcome to this session. My name is Mumshad, and I'll be your host today. This is the 14th session of the Kubestronaut campaign for 2025. So we started beginning of the year, and we're at the end of the year. Just 2 months left to go, and we've had many Kubestronauts that we've launched into the orbit, and we'll look at some of them today. And we have a special guest as well who will be sharing his experience going through the Kubestronaut journey today. So overall, some exciting stuff available. So do share your message. Do drop a comment in the chat window and let us know who you are and where are you coming in from. And we'll just get started in a second. Okay, let me just share my screen and we can get going. All right, so this is November 6th. This is the 14th check-in session. Do drop a hi in the chat, in the comments whenever you can, and just let us know who you are and where you are joining us from. We have Charisma Island. Hi, Charisma. I've been seeing your comments in our posts and everything the past couple of months. So thank you so much for your support, and welcome to the session. And we have Walid from France. We have Orlando from Florida. Welcome, guys. Welcome to everyone. We'll just get going here. All right. So the agenda for today is we'll just get started with celebrating some of the recent Kubestronauts or those who have completed the certifications. I'll share a little bit about what we're working on behind the scenes and what's coming ahead. And we'll also take a look at the leaderboard, and we'll have a discussion with our guest who's here. All right, so just to call out some of the rock stars who have completed their certifications recently. So we have Mehdi Hassan, we have Hamdi Burak, we have Vidya Kamblat, we have Lars, we have Samir, Prem Mishra, who's recently done the CKA. We have Gayan Pushpatilake, who's done the KCNA. We have Surabhi, who has recently completed her CKA certification. We have Jasjit Singh, who's also done his CKA. Hazem, who's done the CKS. So congratulations to everyone on completing their certifications. We also have some Kubestronauts. So we have Nestor Revron, who's recently become a golden Kubestronaut. Is that? No, Kubestronaut, sorry, who's recently become a Kubestronaut. We have Anton, who's also recently completed his Kubestronaut journey. We have Muhammad Darwish. We have Yujun Liang, who's recently completed the Golden Kubestronaut. We have Asha Geeta Rao, who's also recently completed her Kubestronaut journey. And we have Daniel Gaina, who was with us last week, who shared his story. We have Joyson Fernandez, who's also completed his Kubestronaut journey. Madan, Ravi, and Gokhan, who's recently become a golden Kubestronaut. So congratulations to all of you for completing your certifications and sharing your stories. Coming to some of our courses, we recently released the Fundamentals of SRE course. That it was the instructor was Jake. It's a great course, something that I've been going through myself. So I highly recommend. We have some AI courses, Cloud Core for beginners. We have GitOps Certified Associate by Siddharth, the AWS Cloud Formation course. We have the Certified Cloud Native Platform Engineering, the CNPA course, that's new. And then we have the Migrating to Datadog course, the AZ700. as well as a beginner introduction to NA10. Some of the courses that are coming up. So we will be completing all the courses that are needed to become a golden Kubestronaut. So we have the Open Telemetry Certified Associate course that's coming up. We have the golden, we have the Google Cloud Professional Data Engineer certification that's coming up. We have the Certified Argo Project Associate course that's coming up, and we have Fundamentals of RAG course that's coming up, as well as the Kubestronaut Certified Associate. So the Kubestronaut Open Telemetry and the Argo certifications should help anyone who is going through the golden Kubestronaut journey. So really excited for that. So those who are just looking at the cohorts, we had 4 cohorts this year. One that starts at the beginning of each quarter. So the first one, everyone who's going through the first cohort should have completed the certifications by now. Those who are going through the second cohort should be doing their CKS and be aiming to complete the CKS certification in another 2 months. We have the KCNA, as well as those who are going through cohort 4 should be doing their CKA by now. So the cohort 4 just started last month, and the applications are closed, and we'll be starting new cohorts starting next year. So if you're going through the Kubestronaut journey, you can go to the cohorts, and as you can see, we recently closed. Okay, we still have the applications open for the October cohort, so I guess we'll be closing it soon. So I think there's a little bit of time left for you to join if required, if you're interested. And yeah, if you look at the first cohort, I think we have about 200 of them who have completed their certifications, and there are a few who are still, the others are still going through and working on their certifications. So definitely check it out. We also have a golden Kubestronaut cohort that was recently started, and not sure how do we find that. Yeah. So we also have a golden Kubestronaut cohort that was recently started. And so if you're starting your journey towards completing the 15 certifications that are needed to become a golden Kubestronaut, I highly recommend joining this cohort. There's about 145 plus that are already on their way, and many of them have already become a golden Kubestronaut recently. So definitely go in and register your interest. All right, we were looking at some of the data in the back end and trying to figure out like how often or what's kind of the retention like, or what's the difference between those who are just going through the CK or just going through the certification courses versus those who are part of the Kubestronaut series. And one of the interesting insights we got was those who are part of the Kubestronaut cohort, they have the spikes of interest where they come back every now and then, right? So a lot of people drop out eventually, but those who are part of the Kubestronaut cohort tends to come back. So the retention on those who are going through the Kubestronaut cohort is a lot higher compared to those who are not. So this was in the beginning of the year. This was really an experiment to see what it would mean to get people to learn together. And that was a part of the whole cohort. How do we gamify it? How do we add some kind of healthy competition to this? How do we create a leaderboard? And so this proves that this has really worked out. And as you can see, there's these spikes of interest that happen like every couple of months or every few weeks. Usually during these check-in sessions, usually when we have some kind of events associated with it, and these kind of bring people back. So thank you so much to everyone who's joined the cohort and who's contributed to be part of this. And this is something that we intend to continue going forward. Earlier, we had released a couple of months back, we had started this 100 Days of DevOps journey. So if you go to KodeKloud.com/100 Days of DevOps, this is basically 100 different tasks that you get assigned to you, and you complete one task a day through our KodeKloud Engineer platform. We've been seeing a lot of people post about it on LinkedIn, about their journey, the kind of tasks they complete each day, and we've recently added a level 4 to our Terraform track as well, and there's also cloud tracks. So do check it out if you haven't checked it out already. So go to engineer.kodekloud.com, and you have 100 days of DevOps here at the top. And if you expand it, basically you get to see all the tasks for each day. And these are real tasks on real systems. So you start, click on start, and go through and actually complete it. And you can start it right now if you haven't. And basically you can complete one task every day. So one of the things we're doing is, so we've seen a lot of interest for 100 days of DevOps, and we have something new that's coming up. It's 100 days of something, but I'm not going to say what it is right now. If you have any guesses, do share that in the comment section. But we have 100 days of something that's coming up. It's kind of related to DevOps, but not fully, something related to our courses. Yeah, let me know what do you think it is. Certifications, if you haven't booked your certifications, use the code to get some discount on the site. And yeah, we're going to bring in our guest, Dara Gorky, from the Netherlands. Let's bring him in.
Hi everyone.
Hey Dara. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Cool. So Dara is a Kubestronaut who's recently completed his certifications. He's been a lifelong learner, if you want to put it that way. But Dara, I'll leave it to you to maybe introduce yourself to the audience. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and we'll also get into some of your story and the journey in a bit. But yeah, give us a little bit of introduction.
Okay. So my name is Dara Gorky. I'm 34 years old. I'm originally from Iraq. I live in the Netherlands over 30 years. It's easy to say, but I grew up with computers. My dad is a cloud architect himself. And I can remember in the late 90s when he started as a sysadmin, he would bring computers at home. I would break them, he would fix them, I would watch and learn. But as I got older, I had a different vision of life. I wanted to become a filmmaker. So I applied for a film school. It's not so much a film school, it was more about a school how to operate a camera and get familiar with editing and set up lighting. So I did that, and as a part-time job, I was working as a barber. So yeah, I had my gear after I graduated from this film school. I was making videos, and in my mind, I was really close of making a film, a long feature film, but it wasn't. It was only short videos, and yeah, I wasn't really passionate about videos. It was more cinema. So I had to make a change, of course. So I decided to stop making videos and not knowing exactly what to do with my life anymore. So I started working as a barber, for full-time barber, and doing that for about 3 years. I realized this is also not it. With all due respect, if you're a barber, but I needed something more substantial, something where I can grow in. And my parents encouraged me to go to school again. So I applied to become an architect, someone who draws houses, and maybe in years I will design an airport or whatever. But about 6 months in, I didn't like it that much, and I reflected again on my life, and I said maybe it's time to do something in IT, just maybe. So yeah, at the time I was only focusing on cloud computing, mainly Azure, and I started at a small company with a few engineers, having some clients and projects. Did that for 3 years. Then I went to a different company where I still work, about 3 years. So in total, 6 years. Yeah, this is really my thing. I'm really passionate, always learning. So yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Dara. Very inspiring indeed. Like,
yeah,
I mean, the journey, right? You started you studied to become a filmmaker, and then spend some time editing videos. Why didn't you pursue that though? Why didn't you? You said you wanted to make a cinema. What
yeah.
happened?
I don't really have to go into detail, but the cinema world is really tough. Tough. It's hard to make a long feature film. As I said, in my mind, I was really close. I was working on set. I was handling cameras and people and editing and stuff. But it's hard to just make a film, and you need sponsors and money, of course, and time and
Yeah.
people. And so yeah, I had to make a change and choices, of course. So yeah, that's basically it. Why I
Have
stopped.
you? Do you still think about it? I mean, if given a chance, uh, would you still want to make a movie?
Yeah, I would. I would. If I had maybe more time, maybe more money, of course, and people I can get or people around, and yeah, I would. But as for now, I would say a different person. I'm still passionate about films. I don't give it my priority because I have other things which are for me more important. But knowing the fact where the film industry has gone to, it's not really my take. But if I could, I would. But
Yeah. Have you experimented with any of the new, like the AI video making tools or movie
no, I
making tools?
haven't really. I know that there are quite a few, but I'm busy with other things, focusing on
Yeah.
other things, not so much videos and films.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a don't get me wrong. I'm also someone who's very interested in that area. I've been playing around with some of the AI videos and stuff myself. It's very interesting.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, it's not anywhere near like to build something. I would say production ready with it, but still very interesting to tinker and play around with it.
yeah,
Uh, cool. So you said, and then you went on to work as a barber for a few years, and then eventually decided to move into IT. Like any particular reason? Was that because your father was
yeah.
also?
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. So yeah, basically, I knew my dad was doing this already. He's, as I said, a cloud architect, over 25 years of experience. Worked his way from sysadmin and network admin, and also cloud architect now. But he advised me to start in some cloud computing provider, and he was doing Azure. So I just got certified and applied for a job, and I fell in love with the cloud to start with. Not so much with on premise. Maybe that was also the reason why I didn't do it maybe 20 years ago. So yeah, that's the reason.
So what was the first the first step into getting into the field? Like, what did you do? Let's say right after you said, I think after the barber job, you went to learn architecting,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And then after that, 6 months after that, you decided going to move into IT. But at that point, you must have been like very new to everything, right? Like, I don't know if you even
Yeah.
knew maybe Linux or basics of computer science or networking or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah. Good question. Yeah. So I said a few times I grew up with computers. I had some knowledge, of course. My dad and I played around with computers and servers and installing AD and making users, doing some DNS stuff, networking. So I had some very little basic stuff, some knowledge about that. But yeah, I just went fully for the cloud. And even if you just learn the cloud, you learn things aside. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically it.
So did you
I
start with
didn't work.
AWS?
Sorry, I didn't work my way up from maybe the help support or help desk. sysadmin, or maybe I just went fully for the cloud, and I'm very passionate about it, how it works. So
Yeah.
it came all easier for me. Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. So did you start with like AWS
No,
or
I focused on Azure.
Azure?
I
Okay.
did the AZ 900 first, and then the 104.
Got
Then
it.
I did the 400 and the 500, and to my knowledge, it's a good base to have. And then, of course, I didn't have work experience, but I applied for a job, and then I started working somewhere on projects, building Azure DevOps pipelines and YAML, or get familiar with ARM templates. Also, some Intune things, so a variety of things to begin with. So that's
And then
basically
how
it.
did you like land your first job?
What do you mean exactly?
No, so you learned Azure,
Yeah,
but like how did you? So did you first learn Azure? Did you get certified and then use that to land a job, or
yeah,
like how
exactly.
did you?
That's the way. And some company, they don't accept you because they need somebody who has already work experience. But having experience, of course, is very important. Having knowledge is very, very important. But there are many other factors which decides who is maybe good or even great. And always say to people, I'm very, very driven. If you just give me a chance, and I'll perform. And some people, they say, I don't know, but others maybe will. And luckily, I had a chance somewhere, and I think I proved myself.
Yeah.
So
So the reason I ask is a lot of people reach out to me every day, asking me how. I mean, they're kind of in a similar situation as you were.
mhm,
So they're either in another coming from another background and they want to move into IT, or they're a student who just completed their course and then they want to move into they're looking for their first job.
yeah,
And I think at times people may not fully understand or realize how hard it is to get that first breakthrough in your career, right? And so any advice for them, like how did you go about finding that, getting that first opportunity? Like how many jobs did you apply to?
yeah,
How did the interviews look like? How did you convince them that you have enough skills to work even though you had never worked in IT before?
yeah. That's also a very good question. I'm going to be frank. I just applied for maybe 20 plus jobs in one day, in the hope of that somebody will just hire me. And as I said, there are many other things which you have this energy you have if you go to a meeting, or when you have a talk with the one who is going to hire you, employee. It's all about energy as well. It's not only about knowledge and work experience. And if you show up on time, dress well, maybe be driven, say things you already know. For me, that was maybe it for to have a chance. And everybody has his own way of doing things, but luckily this worked for me.
Great. Awesome. And so you had the first interview, and during the interview, like how was that okay for you? Like, was it technical, and did the certification that you did help you clear that interview?
You mean at a job?
Yeah, your first job.
There were a few things I already have done because I did let's say the AZ 400, which is mostly, some of those things is mainly designing and implementing and managing DevOps, Azure DevOps pipelines. And I passed this exam, and I had my own Azure tenant at home, so I was already experimenting with it. So I had not worked anywhere else, somewhere, but I had experience, so I could talk about it more, and
Yeah.
it just clicked. And
Got
as
it.
I said, just one more thing to add. Sometimes you have this disconnection with somebody. His energy might be off, and if that's the case, I don't get sad. You maybe decline me or reject me, no problem. I will find somewhere else to work maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody is listening, might get discouraged. Don't be. Just go to the next thing, and hopefully something even better will come out of it.
Yeah, makes sense. I think someone also commented in the chat that I got a job after 4 months of unemployment. I applied for well over 200 jobs, average 3 to 6 interviews per week. So yeah, I mean that's there, right? And this I say this to because like I do get asked a lot of people who on LinkedIn and other places, like I'm looking for this first breakthrough, not able to get the job, but it takes a little bit of effort, as you can see, to apply for a lot of jobs and not to be discouraged because you are going to be rejected a lot of times, right?
Exactly.
And that's unfortunately true. And so be prepared as much as you can, and then give your best, and don't be discouraged, and keep trying until you find the right job for you, which I'm sure you will, after you have enough tried.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. Seeing this message is very powerful to me. This is someone who doesn't give up. Applying for 200 jobs is you have my respect, really.
True. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, what happened after you joined the company? Like, were you worried at all that that's your first job and you haven't really had much experience before? Did you have any kind of performance anxiety or something when you joined, or how did that first maybe couple of years go?
Yeah, the first year are always a bit looking and knowing and feeling and who your colleagues are and the projects you take and what people might think about you and all that sort of things. You start with small things, of course, help other colleagues, and eventually they know your skills maybe in a while, and they give more responsibility to you, something you could manage in your own, and you just work your way up. So I think that's basically it. You'll start small. That's if it's you're very new in IT with no work experience. It's more like a feel and observation of the whole environment. And yeah, in a few months, maybe even you're very familiar with the environment, and maybe in a few years you're quite experienced. So if there's a task or a project, yeah, he's the person to do it. Yeah, I will. We can trust him with this. So it's slowly but surely you will get there.
Great, awesome. And how did you what brought you to like the Kubernetes world? Like, why did you decide to learn Kubernetes? Was it something at work?
Yeah, so where I started working, they didn't use Kubernetes at all. Also not in the projects. So after doing that for about 3 years, I was looking for something else with more maybe colleagues, a bigger environment, bigger company. It doesn't have to be huge, but bigger. Maybe new technologies. So I applied after 3 years for something else or a new job, a company where still work in Utrecht. And they asked me two things. We had a good conversation about Azure and all sorts of things. But they had two things which were very important for them. Was, can you code in a Bicep? You're using the infrastructure as code tool language. And do you know something about Kubernetes? And yeah, I said no. I don't want to lie to people, because lying to people is lying to yourself, and I don't like to lie to myself. So I just said no. But then again, I am familiar with ARM templates, and I've worked with Azure DevOps, and I'm also very driven. Not knowing much about, basically, I know nothing about Kubernetes, but I can dive into it and be prepared. So yeah, they gave me this chance. Already had a few experience in IT, and yeah, I started learning Kubernetes, not knowing anything. So I had a colleague of mine who already passed a CKA and a CKAD, and he said, if you want to learn Kubernetes, hands-on, the best is by KodeKloud. And just watch it, and you'll get very familiar. And I had a subscription at KodeKloud, and instant connection with the way how it was presented. Of course, the videos, but also the labs. And if you don't understand maybe something, the Kubernetes documentation. So my routine in preparation for the CKA. And people might think I'm lying, but I'm not. I already had this lifestyle. I'm a big believer in in the morning. If you want to own the day, you have to crush the morning. Is what I tell myself. And I would wake up at 4 a.m. I would go to the gym, come home, take a shower, eat something small, and at 6 I would start learning Kubernetes. And I did that. I would learn about 1 or 2 hours a day, every day. In those 6 months, I might have missed a few days. So I did that for 6 months to prepare for the CKA. And some people might listen to this, say, this seems like overkill. I can do it maybe in 1 or 2 months. If you can, I have nothing else than respect for you. But for me, sometimes I was watching the videos. We are talking about such complex things in such a baby manner style presented, but still my brain didn't compute it. And I always say this also with the brain. The only reason why we humans might not understand something fully in the beginning is because we don't allow and give time to our brains to create space. That's only the reason. And you have to be honest with yourself. And that's what I am. I was watching the videos, doing the lab. Okay, Dara, do you understand this? No, I don't. Okay, watch it again. Watch the video, do the lab, read the official pages over and over again, which my brain was saying after a while from just create space already, because this kid is not going to stop. And I didn't. And I got it. So I passed my CKA in my first attempt in about 6 months. And I was, of course, very happy with it, but I was also a bit sad because it was over. I'm really fascinated about Kubernetes as a whole, of course, and I wanted more, learn more about it. And luckily, there is more. So I just went on and looked, searched for the CKAD, what to learn about this, what do I need to learn to pass this exam? So it was basically the CKAD, for those who are listening, the CKA plus some additional things. So do more in Docker, work with Helm and Helm charts. So I said, I have all this knowledge from 6 months preparation. I just need a few more weeks maybe to pass this exam. So in maybe three and a half weeks later, I went to this exam, the CKAD. I just missed it by an inch maybe. You have to pass it. You need a 6.6. I had a 6.5. I was maybe in a rush. For those who are listening, don't be in a rush. I finished this exam maybe in 1 hour, 20 questions. 2 days later, I passed it with a 7+. And given the fact with the same thing as the CKA, I was proud of myself, of course, but also a bit sad again. I need more. There's something with this product and how it's presented. Also, I want to keep learning it. So I said, to just finish the trilogy, I will do also this CKS. And given the fact that's about security, it's very important. Name me one company who doesn't care about security. So it's very, very important in this case to harden and the clusters. So as I said, 6 months for the CKA. After 1 month, I did the CKA-D, and after 1 month again, I passed my CKS. So three exams in about 8 months. I failed it the first time with a 5 or so. And the second time I had a 7 for those who are curious. And Yeah, I was maybe playing with the Kube API server, which is a core component, of course, but it's also a very fragile thing. If you mess something up, the kubectl commands will not work, and you have to dig deeper with maybe crycuddle. So a note for you all: always make a copy out of the manifest file, and also check if you have created a copy out of it before you maybe break it, and you cannot revert things. So yeah, I did the hard part maybe 1 year ago, and we had a new colleague about 2 or 3 months ago, and we had a talk, and eventually the topic was Kubernetes, and yeah, she said, "Why not go for your Kubestronaut?" And to be honest, I didn't know anything about Kubestronaut. I just wanted because I have this love with performance-based exams. It really shows if you know something. It's different from multiple choice exams. But yeah, I thought, why not? It's also a good refreshment for myself to pass these exams, the multiple choice. Some things are fairly easy, might need a few weeks to prepare. And I did pass both of the exams maybe or in 2 or 3 weeks. So that's that.
Yeah, awesome. That's a great journey. So, 8 months, 8 plus maybe 9 months to complete the whole all the series of exams.
Yeah.
Cool. So, a couple of things that you mentioned. First of all, congratulations on completing all the exams and becoming a Kubestronaut.
Thanks so much.
Uh, on the you mentioned about your routine, right? I think that was pretty interesting.
Mhm.
So waking up at 4 a.m. You still do, like, you still
Yeah,
wake up?
now I tend to wake up a bit later, around 5, maybe max
Okay.
5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very sacred about the morning. As I said, if you want to own the day, you have to crush the morning. And I'm a big believer in the morning. Also with studying, try to study in the evening when your mind is cluttered. For me, it doesn't work. Maybe it works for you, but for me, it doesn't. So early in the morning, going to the gym, having some nice dopamine, come back home, eat something small, and start learning with a fresh mind. I just need to watch a video maybe 1 or 2 times, and I'll get it. But in the evening, I cannot.
Yeah, can imagine. So 6 months at it, couple hours a day, every day. That was your routine, right? And then a lot of doing by yourself. I mean, practicing the labs, doing the labs, and doing the videos and all of that. But that is like not knowing anything about Kubernetes,
Of course, yeah.
right? And then starting from the absolute basics, and then getting to CKA ready. And you mentioned, like, so yes, there are some people who do in a month or two, but they're typically are those who are a little bit more experienced. They either have worked with Kubernetes already or has some experience.
Yeah.
But not everybody. Like, a lot of people are, as we see, they're anywhere from 3 to 6 months, and that's pretty normal,
Okay.
especially the first time.
Because I saw this picture when I was studying of a group of people who passed their exam within 2 weeks or 3 weeks. As a man.
Yeah. So there are some of them. I mean, I'm guessing they already have some kind of background, either in
Yeah.
Kubernetes or something similar to that, or
Of course,
containers, or working with containers in some shape or form. But yeah, a lot of people that we see are those who take a little bit more time, are consistent with their efforts, spend a couple of hours every day, maybe go at it a little bit more aggressively during the weekend. Like, what time were your office hours? You said you start studying at 6 in the morning.
yeah. My office hours are between let's say 8 till 5. So starting at about 6, I was at home, of course, for those days. But if I went to the office, I would study 1 hour because I don't want to impact the time of the company, and yeah, because I have to
Yeah.
work, of course. So I just did those days going to the office 1 hour, but usually at home it was 2 hours, and yeah, from 6 to 8. Then I can just yeah doing Kubernetes things, hopping over to my laptop or work laptop, sorry, and just go on with the day.
Yeah. And how much support did you get from like the company? Did they maybe support for your exam costs or vouchers or things
Yeah,
like that?
they fully covered it, of course, and they also encourage people to do this exam. They encourage people to aim for the CKA. But yeah, I had a good conversation with my manager and saying I love this product and I would like to know more about it. And yeah, I just went on and on with everything else.
Did you have to like convince your employer? I think that's one of the other questions we get often. Like, how do I convince my boss or my employer to, pay for the certifications?
No, in my case, luckily I didn't have to convince my employee. But even if they weren't going to pay for it, I would pay for it, and I don't mind. This is also about I'd like to help the company, of course, be better, but this is also something for myself, and that's also something worth noting. So, but yeah, for me, it's yeah, they help me a lot.
Got it. So just coming to your certification, so you did the CKA, CKAD, the CKS, and then the KCNA and KCSA were probably easy because you have done all of these, right? But why did you go for the CKA first, though? Was that recommended by somebody, or?
Even in the job interview, it was saying the CKA. So I think that's it's more of an overall about Kubernetes. Um, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't aware of the multiple choice exams to begin with, and to do the CKS, you need to seek the CKA, and the CKAD is more about yeah, the application developer side. So I thought, and overall, to be an administrator would be the best, of course, and then just work my way up.
Got it. Any tips for those who are going through the exam? Like, you mentioned a couple of them when you answered the question before, like making a backup copy and things like that. But like anything that you realized that really worked for you,
Phew, that's a good question.
without revealing anything particularly about the exam or any question. I mean,
Yeah,
general best
you
practices.
know, it's hard to say because everybody is different. What is maybe hard for me might not be hard for you, or difficult, or easy, or vice versa. But I have my way of learning is just to create space in my brain. I just basically torture my brains to get something and do it over and over again with repetition, and looking at the videos, doing the labs, reading the official pages, and that's basically it. And if you know you're not very good at one thing, maybe be honest with yourself and just keep repeating it. Just don't say, yeah, I think I got it, and just you'll move on, and maybe you'll go to the exam and you'll fail. So I think those things, but I don't have really a specific thing to work on, because
Like
everybody.
shortcuts or things like that, or verifying the answer after you've
Yeah,
done it, or
of course, that's always a thing. If you create a pod, maybe just check if it's already there. Maybe you used an image and it's trying to pull an image. It's not getting started. Use the watch command to look maybe deep further what to describe. So always check your answers, of course, and what you are doing. Um,
how
yeah.
do you prevent yourself from like getting stuck on one thing? Did you, in any of the exams, hands-on exams, did you get stuck on like one thing and you're like, I cannot figure it out? What do you do in that case?
I was stuck at really the CKS mock exam because there weren't answers given, right?
Okay.
I can remember. So it was so something was already set up, and yeah, you need to harden the cluster and use with kubesec and 3v and other tools, Falco. And yeah, so if you apply and submit the answer, you will see these icons being or green, but a few of them were still red. And from what I know, there weren't any answers, or maybe not back then.
Really? Okay. Should
Yeah,
have.
with it's not the mock exam. It's more the latest thing, I think, which is it's more of a challenge. Do you know what
Okay.
I'm?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, yes. The
Yeah,
CKS challenges.
yeah,
Right, right.
exactly. So for me,
Got it.
that I was stuck maybe a few days. Many icons were still red, and
Ah, okay,
some
okay.
parts were green. And maybe now there are people who online who cracked how to fix those. And but back then
Got
I didn't know about it. I searched, of
got it.
course, but I said how to figure this out. So I kept going at it and watching the videos, and yeah,
Yeah,
slowly but surely I fixed them all.
makes
And
sense.
also something about the mock exam. Some people might think, yeah, having a 6 or a 7 is fine, but for me, I'd like to have high standards and just aim for a 9 or a 10 all the time. Because if you go to the exam, you most probably you will score lower. So even doing those mock exams, a tip for you all: don't be happy with a 6. Maybe it's very good, but just aim for maybe 8, 9, or a 10.
Got it. Great. Yeah, that's awesome. We have a few more minutes. So anything else you'd like to share that we haven't covered? Any tips? Any advice?
Um, Maybe a broad message to all of you, not so much about Kubernetes, if I may.
Yes.
Don't ever get discouraged by anybody or anything. There are so many great people in the world, so many supportive people, whether it's family, whether it's friends, or even colleagues. But there are always a few people out there. They tend to put you in a box. They label you. You're new. You're a beginner. You're a junior. I would say don't listen. Really, just focus on yourself. Outwork yourself, and in a few years, maybe you will look back, looking at all your achievements. You'll be very proud of yourself. So that's my final message for you all.
Very powerful message. Well, thank you so much, Dara. Really appreciate your time,
No problem.
uh, and appreciate you sharing your story here. Maybe we can just quickly go through the chat and see if there's any question that we can answer. We have a couple more minutes, so if you guys have any additional questions, please drop them here. Um, so we have Alexander who has completed the 100 days of DevOps. So 100 days of DevOps is a challenge that we recently started. You complete one task a day on our KodeKloud Engineer platform.
But can you do more tasks a day then, or?
Yeah, you can, like, if you're part of the KodeKloud ecosystem, if you're part of a subscriber, then you can do multiple a day. So cohorts is a question on the cohort. So the cohort is what's happening here is really the cohort. It's not there's no instructor. It's not an instructor-led training. Generally, we don't do the instructor-led training. It's all through our courses, and what we have is a leaderboard where you'll be learning along with others. We have a Discord private channel where you'll be put in along with the others in that channel. And yeah, we have these bi-weekly check-in sessions where we kind of check where you are, and we look through the leaderboard where we see people are, and share some updates. So yeah, I think the last cohort of the year is still open, so do join if you're interested. We listened to one of the stories. Charisma says, thank you for your tips on creating space in your mind.
No
I think that
problem.
was that was a powerful one. Um, Aman has a question. I believe we should have knowledge on other part as well, like Docker, Linux, network, Terraform, Ansible, and cloud. That's how we can get target interviews. Getting started only will help, will not only help, right? That's absolutely correct. Of course, the certification, as I always say, is just think of it as a journey, right? The certification at the end itself is not that valuable. I would say that the journey that you go through, when compared to the journey that you're going through, which is the learning journey, right? Ultimately, that's what is really going to get you the job or help you do better at your job. And of course, along with Kubernetes, surrounding it with strong foundations in Linux, strong foundations in containers or Docker networking, and of course, infrastructure as code tools like Terraform, Ansible, and or cloud for sure. Any one of the cloud will definitely be a good set in your arsenal. Dara, is that something? So you started with cloud and then you moved into Kubernetes. Did you also have to um, learn anything like Ansible or Terraform or other infrastructure as code tools?
Yeah, so Terraform not so much because at this company now we are working with Bicep. Terraform and Bicep are quite similar to each other. I've worked with ARM templates, but that language is a bit, yeah, what can I say, a bit harsh to start with. Terraform and Bicep are pleasant to work with. But what's the question really?
Um, I mean, certification, maybe I think can phrase it as, is the certification alone enough to get you a job, or how can you kind of get yourself become job ready along with certification?
Yeah, so we were talking about mainly about Kubernetes or
Yeah, no, I mean general other parts as well, not just Kubernetes,
yeah.
so Linux
Yeah,
networking.
so as I said, looking at my own story and life and how I did things, I was focused on Azure computing or cloud computing and Azure mainly. And even now we have a few clusters at work, Kubernetes clusters, but they're basically AKS or an abstraction of Kubernetes. So you don't have to manage everything, of course. Microsoft helps with that. Yeah, you of course you need some basic knowledge about a variety of things. Having just one all the knowledge in one place is not ideal. Of course, IT is in general an ocean, and yeah, there are many things that are important. In my case, cloud computing, but knowing something about networking, of course, CI/CD tools, infrastructure as code, Kubernetes maybe. So yeah, I would say so. To know, yeah, to be a complete engineer, you have to know more than just one thing. I think those days are a bit over to focus on just one thing because there are so many people who maybe can do that thing and more. So that would be my advice. Getting certified is one thing, but it doesn't make you an expert, of course. You need still other things and work experience. Um, so yeah.
True, absolutely. All right, well, I think that's the end of today's session. Once again, thank you so much, Dara, for joining us. It was absolute pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right. Well, and